What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video, and boy oh boy, has Sony lost their ever flippin' mind. Well, that's what I want to talk about today. Most recently, we know that Sony had decided to unveil the PlayStation Portal. It is basically a handheld streaming device, except not really. Its only good use is remote play. Now, I want to talk about this because I feel like basically what's going on here is that Sony is trying to be they're trying to be the Apple of gaming. And I want to explain why. I actually do have a couple tweets here that I made. If you guys actually hear The Last of Us music in the background, that's actually because why I'm just waiting for my shaders to reload or load up on the Steam Deck. Which I guess that really kind of spells that, why would you want to get one of those, PlayStation Portals when you got something like this? Well, I kind of want to talk about it. I want to give you guys my opinion because I see a lot of YouTubers basically talking, talking down on it. You got a lot of people who hate it. You got a lot of people who also, are different to it. You got some people that love it. And I kind of just need to say, I don't think the device is a bad device. I feel like the PlayStation Portal has its uses and it has a very specific niche market. But the problem is that nowadays a lot of people own a whole bunch of gaming handhelds. If you're a content creator, if you're a gamer, there's a good chance that you either own more than one console or you are somebody who is constantly in abundance of technology. So if you're somebody like that, if you're somebody like me who has a Switch, who has a Steam Deck, who has a PlayStation 5, who has a Vita, who has a 3DS, I personally don't see any use for this thing. There's a lot of things I kind of want to get over. So let me just bring up what I said on Twitter. Because that will just make it a lot easier to explain my points. So I came up with a couple things right now. I said I feel like Sony is trying to be the Apple of gaming, but in the worst way possible. Having all these fancy premium accessories to pair up with your PlayStation 5. You got your PlayStation 5 headset. You got your the PSVR. You got your other stuff. All these devices, most of them work outside the PlayStation 5, but a couple of them, obviously, they work exclusively with the PlayStation 5. And I really feel like as somebody who wanted to really just have a successor to the PS Vita that played things natively up to, PlayStation 3, if possible, that would have been awesome. That would have been great. Do I think Sony was ever going to do that? No, but it was wishful thinking. And I think if Sony knew what they were doing when it comes to handheld space, they definitely would. But then I said, we're currently on a race to see who can make the best handheld gaming device that runs AAA games. The Steam Deck is miles ahead of its competition in terms of pricing and performance. And the PlayStation Portal isn't even a game streaming device. It is just remote play. Now, because I own a PlayStation 5, I will buy or rent one for the extensive test all case scenarios for review. So if you guys are interested in seeing me review that thing, definitely leave a comment and subscribe. But I really think that only the people that are in the market that should be buying the PlayStation Portal as a companion device is if the PlayStation 5 is their only console, and two, they're like a busy dad or something, or who has kids who always use the TV, who are constantly on the go and constantly do that. The backbone is great, don't get me wrong, and honestly, I think the backbone is probably one of those devices that you could suffice with. But to be fair, I don't think that this product is necessary, and I don't know if it's going to be as successful as Sony really wants it to be, especially with these price points. It just feels like Sony has got caught up too much in their ego from the last generation on the PlayStation 4, and they're really trying to overstep their boundaries as to, you know, making them the most premium way to play the console. Like, at launch, the PlayStation 5 cost, what, $100 more or than the Xbox? I think it was Xbox Series X. I don't know if it was a Series S or Series X. You guys can correct me wrong if I'm there. But yeah, that device essentially is, you know, I don't want to say it's a paperweight, but if there is no processor, there is no like a way to play native titles on it. There's no, you know, way to get your whole game to work. Like, honestly, the only time anybody's probably going to be interested is if by some off chance they turn around and some people buy it, hack it, mod it, and find out that, oh, there is a processor in here. Let's make it run Android. So then you got the DualSense, which is another thing. That is the DualSense controller. I'm really concerned that the DualSense controller's battery life is going to affect its battery life with all the haptic feedback. Or, in this case, it may end up actually benefiting the cause because the system doesn't have a processor. So, is it just a screen and a battery that's in it? We really still don't know a whole lot of details on this thing. That is the main thing about this. And I think my biggest gripe about this too is because it is just a remote play device, they are really missing this to be a streaming only platform. Like, I would be totally okay with a $200 streaming device from Sony with haptic feedback and a controller if it was able to do that. I'm not saying I'd like that. I would love Sony to do more. But at the bare minimum, at the bare fucking minimum, if Sony had decided to take the PlayStation Portal and just let you play PlayStation Cloud games on it. Now, I could be very wrong. I could maybe, with streaming directly to the PS5 with this PlayStation Link that they're advertising, maybe the device will be able to play those games. But the problem is, you still need a PlayStation 5. You still need to be connected to your PlayStation 5 to even utilize this thing. It's like they want to include all of the cool things that Apple does, where all of the devices integrate together and charge them at a premium price, but they don't actually have a premium quality product to justify the whole, you know, the price point for it. For example, the not just the DualSense controller. The DualSense controller has these has the haptic feedback, the trigger thing. I forgot what it's called. But the triggers, the you know, the vibrations, all that other crazy stuff. But it's suffered by the bad battery life, right? It's suffered by the horrible battery life, and those gimmicks kind of wear off pretty quickly. They're cool, but, you know, the cool factor for the PlayStation 5 controller for me wore off pretty quickly. You got the Pulse headset. The Pulse headset sounds great, but it is made by cheap quality plastic. If you have kids, the thing's gonna snap. I have had my Pulse headsets, pretty much the plastic snapped on them. I don't know if I've got them to show you. Actually, yeah, I do. I got them. They're right here. So these are my Pulse headsets that I bought with my PlayStation 5. And they're still in working condition, don't get me wrong, but the quality of the plastic is starting to chip. So if you have destructive kids and you have destructive, you know, circumstances and pets, I advise getting something like that. When, you know, you have Apple's products, some of them are plastic, don't get me wrong, but they are more durable and they last longer. So I feel like Sony's sort of like up on the standard of like, we want to offer the best gaming experience we possibly can on a console. and they just don't deliver. I mean, if they had a PlayStation Vita, or if they went back and found a way to create a successor to the PS Vita, and they allowed the user to play the games natively, PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, maybe PlayStation 3, and then let you remote play PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 games, they would have a solid device. Like the PS Vita at the time, it was underwhelming, but I think because Sony wants a little bit too much control over how the system works, they are basically, they essentially don't really want you to have that freedom. And I think that was kind of the biggest issue with the Vita, and why they killed it off and why it never sold so well. It's just because of just the poor marketing. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this whole thing. We are definitely in an interesting time when it comes to these PlayStation. We're definitely in an interesting time, when it comes to these, AAA gaming handheld PCs in the race. We obviously have the Nintendo Switch. We have the Steam Deck. We have the ROG, I don't know how you say, ROG Ally, what is it? I can't speak today. ROG Ally, that's what it is. I don't want to say ROG, I don't know. But yeah, we have that. We have the Lenovo Legion Go coming out. It's at this point, I feel like it's an arms race right now to make a really good handheld gaming PC, and Sony's kind of just flopped behind. They're like, well, we're not even going to actually try to make a handheld. We might as well strip away all control of people, manipulating the system by not even including a potential processor in there. And then you got the other products that they recently announced, which is the earbuds, the Pulse. I forgot what it's called already. I don't even have my notes or my my freaking page up that I was looking at. But we have the little earbud pieces that cost $200, and then we got the new Pulse PlayStation Link headset thingy that I think costs like $150. And because the PlayStation Portal does not include, Bluetooth, that already is a unfortunate fact that I don't know how well this system is going to do. So, what is my conclusion? If you have a PlayStation 5 and you only have a PlayStation 5, then maybe think about it. But honestly, if you have a Steam Deck like this right here, if you have a Switch, which I got somewhere, if you got all these other ways of playing portable gaming, I would say save your money. Save your money. I really think that you could, if you have a phone, just get the backbone. Just use your phone and play remote play. That's my only conclusion I have. So yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video, enjoyed my rambling on this PlayStation Portal type handheld that Sony wants to do, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys later, and goodbye. Bye.